Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. Today we are talking about Anora. This is written and directed by Sean Baker and it stars Mikey Madison in the titular role. I had recently come across her work really for the first time in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then she blew up on the scene with Scream 5, or just Scream, and which she did a great job. And from interviews I've seen with Sean Baker, apparently that's where he really took notice of her as well, and decided to cast her in this movie. This movie won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. It's been getting a lot of rave reviews and a lot of Oscar buzz, Oscar talk for the upcoming season. And I think most of it is really well deserved. I think this is a great movie that is kind of ballsy. It takes a lot of risks, and most of them pay off. And let's go no further than just starting off with Mikey Madison. Oh my God, this movie entirely hinges on her performance. If her performance does not work, the entire movie does not work. And she knocks it out of the park. Of all of the Oscar buzz that the movie's receiving, a nomination for her would be the most deserving. She embodies this character, has so much fun with the character, and even in the really deep, dark moments with her, you as an audience member like seeing her portray this person, Annie, as she likes to be called. And she takes you on the emotional journey of this film, and she kills it. There's no mincing words on just how amazing she was in the movie. There's another actor that I think is not getting enough flowers, and that actor's name is Yura Borisov. Amazing supporting role in the movie. Through the filmmaking, you kind of see him get a lot of close-ups early on where you're like, all right, he must be important later on, and he is, and when that comes through, it's a very deep emotional impact that it has on the Annie character, on Anora, and it's incredibly well done, and it's partially due to his performance. I think that his performance is kind of going overlooked, and I thought he did an excellent job. We also need to talk about Sean Baker. This is the director who brought you movies like The Florida Project, Red Rocket, and Tangerine. His writing and direction is exceptional. He's used to making incredibly low-budget indie films, and you see those fingerprints all over this movie. I think that the direction is a little bit better than the script in this particular case, but both are strong. You know, one is not significantly over the other. But I think visually how the story is told is great. The way that this movie plays with character motivation and how someone's truly feeling versus a facade, I think is very well done. Sometimes even you asking yourself, like, are these real feelings? Is this a fake feeling? Is this a ploy? And this applies to multiple characters, not just your leads, which I thought was really interesting. For those who are unfamiliar with the movie, it's basically like Pretty Woman on crack, in that the first half of the movie is very much this journey of a stripper, a sex worker who gets swept up in this romance with a very rich Russian younger guy. And, the movie kind of tiptoes with, does she actually love him, or does she just kind of want to use him to get a better life, the life that she feels she deserves after years of hard work and not having much to show for it in her life. And I won't spoil what happens, but the second half of the movie just becomes kind of a Easter egg hunt for a particular person, place, or thing. And the second half is where the movie really shines for me, and this is something that wasn't really brought up in a lot of the reviews. This movie is hilarious. It's so funny, especially in the second half. And it's not just, situational comedy, which part of it is, but the banter between the characters, the script. Yura Borisov, who I mentioned earlier, is great for a lot of the comedic timing of this movie. And the way that the Mikey Madison in particular is able to kind of weave through the comedy, through the drama, and have the timings and perfect placements for both was very, very fun to watch. I've seen some criticism on the movie in regard to the length. It is a longer movie. It's about 2.5 hours long. Do you feel it while you watch it? Yes. However, I think the joke of the second half, of the situation the characters find themselves in, is really reliant on you having the time to really live in the first half of the movie. Because while you're watching it, a lot of the criticism you're thinking is like, oh, they could have trimmed up this first half and made it cleaner. But I don't know if the movie works as well if you remove any of that. I think it has less of an it wouldn't have as much of an impact on the second half if you didn't get to live in the world of that first part of the movie. So ultimately, I don't feel that as a negative, even though, yes, you do feel the length. I think by trimming that, it wouldn't have made the movie as good in the second half. It wouldn't have hit as hard. The emotional and the comedic beats would not have hit as hard without the runtime in the beginning. I do think that there are some jokes that get repeated that aren't necessarily in pattern form. They're kind of at random, and some of them do get a bit the bit isn't funny anymore. There are a couple times where a character's motivations are pretty clear to the audience, and they're not really clicking yet with the characters, and you're kind of just like, come on, I know the character's smarter than this. They have to see through this, and it takes them a little bit longer than you'd like it to as an audience for it to be a bit satisfying. I've seen the end be divisive for people. I thought the ending was haunting and beautiful. I really, especially in Mikey Madison's performance, there are some people saying that it ends on a bit of an anticlimactic piece, or that, it's not where they thought the ending was going to go. Not for me. I personally love how the film ended. I thought the last shot was very good. It sticks in my brain. The ending sticks in my brain, which is the sign of a good ending, at least to me. Also, I didn't mention, the film, I believe, was shot on 35mm film. It looks gorgeous. I was lucky enough to watch it on 35mm at a local theater nearby here. And again, it looked beautiful. And I think particularly for this story, that film look really kind of helped be a character in the movie as sort of a background element of something that you subconsciously see that helps you kind of drive the story forward, which I know may sound weird, but if you watch it, you'll see what I mean. But overall, guys, I thoroughly enjoyed Anora. It's definitely in the top tier of movies I've seen so far this year. I've seen 100 movies so far. I'm probably going to get a few more in before the end of the year, and these are 100 2024 new releases, and this is definitely in the top quarter of the films this year. I don't know where it's at exactly. I haven't done my top lists yet, but it's a really great film. I highly recommend seeking it out. Now, before I say that, I keep forgetting that some people's viewing habits are different than mine. Tons of sex and nudity in the movie, and most of it for storytelling purposes. It doesn't really feel that gratuitous. So, however, if that's not your thing, just be aware of that there's a ton of it in the movie. But it's a great film, and I think it's one that everyone should see. But what did you guys think of Anora? I'd love to see your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.